Hello there, Zach here, Independent Auto. We are going to do a video on how to inspect and test drive a used car, whether buying from a dealership or a private individual. You don't have to be mechanical. I'm going to show you a test drive that, most cars, if they have bad enough mechanical problems that it's an issue, even as a plain novice, with a long enough test drive, 15-20 minutes, you're going to be able to figure it out. Now, to start your test drive, a lot of people don't actually do this. We sell a lot of cars, and people don't even do this. It's really easy to do, is check the fluids. Okay, so I'm going to start here with the engine oil. Of course, ours has been freshly changed to be sold on the car lot, so it just looks like a light shade of brown. Black, brown, none of those are bad. Black just means that it probably needs to be changed. Anything that looks milky is bad, because it just means that some antifreeze is getting in the oil. Now, tranny fluid, you want it to be a pinkish red. If it is super dark, that's bad. That means that tranny is starting to go downhill. Doesn't always mean that, but it's a good indicator. And then, of course, you want to check your antifreeze, and what you're looking for when you check the antifreeze is just look in if there's not any black crap or any oily looking substance floating in there. It's good to go too. So everything under this engine bay looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and start the vehicle now. And I did go ahead and do a four-wheel drive so that we could get the full effect of a test drive and checking all-wheel drive. We'll start it up here. Of course, you're going to want to check all your windows. These ones all work. We always make sure our windows work. Now, this one, as you can see, the speakers above me, that is where a sunroof used to be. Before we even bought it to resell it, somebody sealed that shut with silicone and mounted these custom speakers that go to this awesome stereo here. So we're going to go ahead. This is actually an all-wheel drive version of a Ford Expedition. This is leather and third row. So we're going to go ahead and, so pretty much the four-wheel drive works all the time. Now, while we're at it, I'll go ahead and show you the dash indicator. See how it's stuck down there in 1. That's a really common problem in Ford Expeditions, Explorers of this era. Excursions did it too. It doesn't mean anything. It just means the little clicker in there broke. So you just count reverse, neutral, and drive, and then you're good to go. Okay, so now this car doesn't have a check engine light on either, but we'll talk about check engine lights. When you're buying a car, check engine light isn't the end of the world. There's a couple options here. You can either ask the dealership to run the code. Our dealership will, and tell you what it is. If it says anything transmission related, it's not good. Anything else, there's like 40 or 50 codes on just emissions related stuff that could be as simple as a leaking gas cap with these new fuel pressurized systems. So, don't let a check engine light scare you from buying a cheaper car. Always realize that the price of the car, you're going to get what you pay for. You buy a $1,000 car, it may have some slight oil leaks. Slight oil leaks aren't the end of the world either. If it isn't pouring out any fluid and you're buying a real cheap car, I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and check the four-wheel drive here. I put the switch in. It kind of does a jerky feeling. Just turn really sharp in a corner. It'll do a jerking feeling. The other way to do it is, okay, so you're on some gravel. Find some gravel near the car lot. Step on it. It's going to go. Now, if the four-wheel drive's not working, it'll spin the rear tires if you floor it. Most four-wheel drives have enough power, they'll just spin the rear tires. So this car is already warmed up. I had it warmed up ahead of time, but you'll want to drive it about 10 minutes or so and get it nice and warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and go a little further here. So go through all your gears. You can Google how many gears a car has. Some of the newer Chevy Malibus and stuff, it's common for them to the overdrive to quit working. But we're going to just pull over here real quick and take a look. Alright, so after you've warmed the car up, got it all warmed up, you want to take a look underneath for oil leaks. This one doesn't have any oil leaks on it. But like I said, you want to look when you're buying cars under 10 grand. They may have what I call seepage, but it's when it's pouring out. I mean, if you've literally drove it 10 minutes and the oil's pouring out, it's bad. The other thing to do is after the car's warmed up, and you don't, I mean, pop the hood. A lot of these newer cars have what we call a reservoir tank. So basically you just look at the side of the tank. If there's no bubbling, you're good to go too. So bubbling just indicates that there's a bad head gasket or some kind of overheating issue. The other thing you can do on a test drive is some cars will rear their heads just sitting there and idling. Like if a cooling fan isn't working, the car will overheat when it's sitting, but it won't going down the road, because going down the road, it's going to be blowing air through the radiator where that fan's not working. So sometimes you want to just leave the car idle for a few minutes, see what it does, and just really look it over. The other thing I recommend is checking the heater, even if it's summertime, because if the heater doesn't work, it can indicate other underlying problems in the cooling system. You know, transmissions and cooling systems are the most common failure in cars. They don't usually fail on rod knocks, stuff like that. And of course the radio works in this. You know, you'll want to test all that stuff. The other thing, like this one has heated seats. Now this heated seat works. What you got to decide when buying a used car is, okay, so the heated seat doesn't work. Is that something that matters? Use that as a negotiation tactic. Always check the tires, make sure the tires are workable for you. You know, in a lot of dealerships, sometimes they would rather sell their car for full price and give you a brand new set of tires than to discount it, because they can get tires cheaper than, you know, say a private individual buying tires can, because, you know, we spend thousands of dollars a year on tires, so we get deep discounts on it. Thanks for watching my video. I'll be having other videos come out on about how to drive German cars cheaper, foreign test drives, Cadillac test drives, you name it. Subscribe to our YouTube page, like our Facebook page. Nobody sells cars cheaper than Independent. Thanks for watching.